what do we mean by actually incomplete records? Today we will discuss this single entry system. So this is a little bit theory about the single entry system. Single entry system, or you can say incomplete accounting system. Incomplete accounting system. Incomplete accounting system. Now see, if we maintain our records under single entry system, or you can say incomplete accounting system, then what will happen? Our records will become incomplete. Our records will become what? Incomplete. So the point is what, that if we maintain our records, you know what do we mean by records? Records means books of accounts. And if we maintain our records by applying single entry system, or you can say incomplete accounting system, then what will happen? That our records will become what? Incomplete. What do we mean by actually records and incomplete? What do you mean by this? Because see, to make our records complete, we have to record both aspect of all transactions, debit aspect as well as credit aspect. Whenever we conduct any transaction, that in each transaction two aspects are affected, debit as well as credit, and both aspects are affected with the equal amount. With 1000 suppose, then credit aspect will also be affected with $1000. So, but if we are not recording both the aspects, then what will happen? Our records will become complete. So we were discussing what, that if we maintain our records under single entry system, then our records will become incomplete. Why? Because in single entry system we do not record the both aspect of all the transactions. Now see, how come that in single entry system we are not recording both the aspects of all the transactions? Because the reason is what, in single entry system we maintain only limited records. We do not maintain all the records. Getting my point? So see in single entry system, which records we will maintain? So see which records we will maintain. The first record we will maintain is which one? Cash book. In the name of book we will maintain only cash book. We will not maintain any other book like purchase book, sale book, purchase return book, sale return book. We will not maintain these books. Only which book we will maintain? Cash book. And second thing, in the ledger. In the ledger we will open only personal accounts. We will open only personal accounts of debtors and creditors. Debtors and creditors. It means in the ledger we do not open real accounts. We do not open real accounts. We do not open nominal accounts. Nominal accounts. Okay. We open only personal accounts of debtors and creditors. And one more book we maintain, that is memorandum book. Memorandum book. Only these books we maintain actually. What we were discussing, that in single entry system we do not maintain all records. We will maintain only these records. Only one book, cash book, that is, and in ledger we do not open real accounts and nominal accounts. In the ledger we will not open real accounts, we will not open nominal accounts, we will open only personal accounts of debtors and creditors. And one more book we will maintain, memorandum book. That's it. Only these records we will maintain. Now, and as we are maintaining only limited records, we are not maintaining all records, only limited records we are maintaining. That's why sometimes it is not possible for us to record both the aspects of all the transactions. So now see, I will show you one example. And in that example I will show you that how we are using this single entry system, that how it is, why we are not able to record both the aspects of all the transactions. I will with the help of one example I will let you know. So see the example. So see, there is one transaction actually. What is the transaction? Suppose sold goods to Ram. Sold goods to Ram for $3,000. Okay. Now tell me, this is a credit sale because name of the customer is given. So what entry we will pass for this transaction? We will pass this entry. RAM debit 3000 and sales account will be credited. Is that clear? You will pass this entry. But if you see in the ledger you will find only RAM's account. As I told you that in the ledger we open only personal accounts na. In the ledger we open only personal accounts of debtors and creditors. So in the ledger we will find only RAM's account. So see, in the ledger only RAM's account we will open. We will not open sales account. Only RAM's account we will open, and RAM's account is debited. So on its debit side, first I will write the amount and then I will write the name of the opposite account, sales account. So in the ledger you will not find sales account. You will not find sales account in the ledger. So it means in the ledger only debit aspect is recorded na? Only this aspect is there in the ledger, not the credit aspect in the ledger. This is the transaction, we pass this entry, and in the ledger only RAM account is there, not sales account. It means in the ledger only debit aspect is recorded, credit aspect is not recorded, credit aspect is not there in the ledger. So that's why our records are what? Incomplete. So this is the transaction, this is the example of transaction which is partly recorded in the ledger. Getting my point? Now see one more example I will take, which will be recorded fully. So see one more transaction I am taking. Cash received from RAM. Cash received from RAM. Same transactions. Cash received from RAM. In the previous transaction, we sold the goods to RAM 3000. Now in this transaction we are getting money from RAM $3000. So see what entry we will pass. We will pass this entry na, cash debit, cash account debit 3000 and RAM's account credit. RAM's account credit 3. So see, cash account we are maintaining na, we are maintaining cash book, isn't it? This is our cash book. So this transaction will be recorded in the cash book, isn't it? Yeah, cash is debited, so on its debit side I will write the 3000 and then I will write the name of the opposite account, RAM's account. And in the ledger, RAM's account is already opened in the ledger. See in previous transaction I already I have already opened RAM's account in the ledger. On its debit side there is 3000. So same amount I will write here again, sales and debit side 3000. Okay, this is the previous account only which I opened here previously. So same account I opened here again. Now I have to make posting of this transaction. So in this transaction, see RAM account is credited, isn't it? So on its credit side I will put the 3000 and then I will write the name of the opposite account, that is cash. Okay. So first transaction sold goods and now we are getting money. Okay. Now if you see this transaction is completely recorded now. Debit aspect is also there. See, cash is debited, so cash account is there, and RAM is credited, so RAM account is also there. So this transaction is completely recorded, debit and credit. It means debit aspect and credit aspect, both aspects are recorded regarding this transaction. In previous transaction what happened? Only debit aspect was recorded, not the credit. But in this transaction what happened? Both aspects are recorded, debit as well as credit also. You will find both the things in the ledger. One transaction we recorded partly, and now see this transaction we recorded completely. Both debit and credit aspects are there. Now one more transaction we will take, and that will be completely ignored. That will be completely ignored. See the transaction. Goods burned by fire. Goods burned by fire. $500. This is the transaction. Now what entry we will pass for this transaction? So loss by fire account will be debited 500 and goods gone, so purchase account will be credited. Now if you see in the ledger you will not find loss by fire account, and because loss by fire account is a nominal account. In the ledger we will not open loss by fire account, and in the ledger we will not open purchase account also. It means in the ledger we are not recording debit aspect and credit aspect, both we are ignoring. Regarding this transaction is completely you will not find in the ledger, because in the ledger we are opening only personal account of debtors and creditors, and these are not personal account of debtors and creditors. So in the ledger I will not open this loss by fire account. So in the ledger, and I will not open purchase account also. So this transaction completely ignored from the ledger. So see, 3 transactions I explained you. This was the first transaction which is partly recorded and partly not recorded. and second transaction completely recorded. See, both debit and credit, both are in the ledger. Yeah, and third transaction, see, completely ignored. Okay, so that's why this is happening because of why because we are not maintaining proper records. All records we are not maintaining, so that's why this is happening. Some transactions partly recorded, some are completely ignored, and some are completely recorded. So that's why this is what our records are, what actually incomplete actually. That's why it is called incomplete accounting system. If we want to maintain our records complete, what we have to do, we have to record both debit and credit aspect in the ledger. But here what is happening, that we maintain less accounts, less records. We are maintaining less records. We are maintaining, we are not maintaining all the records. So that's why some transactions are partly recorded, some transactions are completely recorded, and some transactions are completely ignored. So this happened in single entry system. So that's why single entry system is also known as what? Incomplete accounting system. Why? Now there is a question that why we are not maintaining all records. We should maintain all records. If we want to maintain our records complete, then we have to maintain all the records. Why we are maintaining less records, only few records? Why we are maintaining? This is a big question. So the reason is what? Because see, small businessmen, in a small business, resources are very less. So small businessmen like milk vendor, vegetable vendor, their resources are they have very less resources. So that's why they do not maintain all the records. They maintain only few records, and as they are maintaining only few records, so that's why what is happening, their records are incomplete. So what is the conclusion? That in a small business like milk vendor, like vegetable vendor, like newspaper vendor, they are small businessmen. Okay na? So they are not maintaining all records, they are only maintaining few records. In a small business we maintain only few records. So that's why it is not possible for us to record both the aspects of all transactions. And that's why what happened, at the end of the year our records become incomplete record. In a small business, we do not afford to maintain all the records because it's too expensive. So in a small business we maintain only few records: cash book, ledger, and memorandum book. And as we are maintaining few records, so that's why it is not possible for us to record both the aspects of all the transactions. And due to this, at the end of the year, what will happen? Our records will become incomplete. So what is the conclusion? That who maintain records under single entry system? Only small business. In a small business you will find only single entry system. Otherwise all businessmen using double entry system. Double entry system. And in double entry system we record both the aspects of all the transactions, and that's why our record become what? Complete, not incomplete. And in single entry system we are not following this, so that's why our records will become what? Incomplete. Now the next task is what? See, if records are incomplete, then how to prepare final accounts? This is the question.